Friends, we are going to learn in this unit meaning and scope of accounting. This is the chapter 1, unit 1. In this, we are going to learn the basics of accounting. What is the meaning of accounting? For what purpose accounting should be done? Why accounting should be done? How accounting should be done? What are the objectives of accounting? How bookkeeping is different from accounting? What is bookkeeping? What are the different subfields of accounting? Any limitations of accounting? Like that, relating to accounting, all the basics we are going to learn in this unit. So, in your study material, you will find this as the first chapter, and this is unit number 1. For starters, for beginners, even those who have not learned accounting at all so far, this is going to be a very, very important lesson. Friends, before I get into the various scope of accounting, meaning of accounting, let me first tell you, accounting is a very, very practical oriented subject. Very easy one. It is all based on some broad principles, concepts, and practices. If you are clear about all these things, accounting is an enjoyable experience. On the contrary, if somebody would just like to go by the rules, it may look as if it is a duty we are doing. So I would suggest, please take a lot of interest, enjoy accounting. It will be a good experience for us. So friends, let us start. What is accounting? How accounting is important? Why we should do accounting? What will be the benefits of accounting? How accounting should be done? Who should do accounting? When accounting should be done? Like that, so many things we are going to learn in this unit. So, this will give a clear idea about this particular chapter. And definitely for those who are starting afresh, this is going to be very, very interesting. Let's start, friends. What are the learning objectives of this unit? We are going to learn meaning of accounting, significance of accounting, limitations of accounting. What does accounting mean? How it is significant? Is there any limitation in accounting? After learning this unit, you will be able to understand these things. Objective of bookkeeping. What is basically bookkeeping? What is accounting? How bookkeeping is different from accounting? What is the objective of bookkeeping? Why we have to keep books of accounts? What is a necessity? Is it compulsory or mandatory? By keeping proper books of accounts, what is it we are going to achieve? Subfields of accounting. Accounting is not one particular area of learning. There are various subfields of accounting. In that, we are going to learn only one field, namely financial accounting. But you should not believe that accounting means only financial accounting. There are various subfields of accounting useful for different purposes. What are those subfields of accounting? How they are useful? Where it is useful? For what purpose you have these subfields of accounting? How it is beneficial to a particular set of people? Is it mandatory or compulsory or necessary? Like that, we are going to learn various users of accounting information. For what purpose we are doing accounting? We have to provide information to various users who are interested in knowing what is happening in a business. Who are the various users? How they are classified? Why they want information? How you are going to present that information to them? In what way they will benefit? Is there any prescribed format for that? All these we would have learned by the end of this unit. Role of chartered accountants. See, we are pursuing chartered accountancy course. What will be our role in helping our clients? In order to educate them, in order to empower them. What is a requirement for accounting? How that should be done? Who should do that? When that should be done? What are the benefits you will derive from that? What is the procedure? All these things, a chartered accountant plays a very vital and important role. So, what is the role of chartered accountant? Not only in accounting, but in the society as a whole. What are the various fields in which a chartered accountant can render service? Like that, various things we are going to learn from this unit. Meaning of accounting. What is accounting? Meaning means what is accounting? What? What is accounting? Why accounting should be done? Then who? When? How? If you learn it in this manner, it will be very, very helpful to you. What is accounting? See, when you are given a certain responsibility, particularly in relation to a business, you are provided with crores and crores of rupees by various people who are interested in a business. Those people would like to know what is happening in the business, in what way their money is actually spent, whether it is effectively and efficiently spent for the intended purpose. Is it going to result in a benefit to them or not? People are interested. Let us take a simple example. Suppose your dad or mom gives you 1,000 rupees for a particular purpose. So they are the providers of finance. They provide you with the capital. They provide you with money. For what purpose they are given? For whatever purpose you ask them, they would have given you the money. For example, you want to buy a book, or you want to join a workshop or a seminar, you want to attend a class. For that purpose, you are asking for 1,000 rupees. They are given that. Once the session is over or class over, or you have purchased the book, your dad or mom is going to ask you, what happened to the 1,000 rupees? What is the account for that? Please give me account for that. So see here, you are using others' money, the others have given that money to you for a specific purpose, then you become responsible to provide them what happened with that money. You want to give them information about what happened to that money. Why they need that information? Very simple. You ask money for a particular purpose, they are given you. If you use that money for other purpose, then the money will be lost. The purpose is defeated. So your parents are interested in knowing whether the money given for the particular purpose has been utilized for that purpose or not. So therefore, in a business also you will find some people provide money, some people utilize the money or manage the money. So the persons who manage the money are accountable or responsible to provide information about what happened to that money to the persons who provided the money. This simple example will help you understand why accounting should be done. So, some person giving you finance for a particular purpose, you have used it for that purpose. Whether you have used it for the particular purpose or not, in what manner you used it, is it really going to be beneficial or not? Is it efficiently, effectively utilized for the purpose? You are responsible to provide information to the providers of finance. That information that you provide to them in a certain manner, which is acceptable to them, not in a manner which is convenient to you. In a manner that is acceptable to them, you are providing information in terms of money about what happened. That information that is provided in terms of money is known as accounting. So, what is accounting? Provide information about money. When you are asked to provide information about money, the process of providing that information in terms of money is known as accounting. Why accounting should be done? Why we should provide accounts? Why we should give information? It's a very illogical question. Because if somebody has given you money, they are entitled to know what happened to that. When you are using others' money, you are responsible to provide them information about what you did with that. So, the persons providing money have a right to seek information. The persons using that money has a duty to provide information. So, in order to provide that information in terms of money, we do accounting. So, that's a very simple one. The reason why accounting should be done. Why? User has a right. Provider has a right. The person who provides money has a right. The user has a responsibility. So, if your dad is providing you the money, he has a right to seek information about what happened. When you are using that money, you have a responsibility to provide that information. Therefore, accounting is essential. Question is, who should do accounting? One who is using the money should do the accounting. For example, in a company situation, shareholders are providing money. Bankers are providing finance. Who is using it? The management, namely the board of directors of the company. In case of a partnership, the partners are providing money. The partners have introduced capital. Who is supposed to provide information? The person who is utilizing the money for the intended purpose. That person, maybe one of the partners may be made in charge of providing that information. What happened to the money? That person will be identified within the organization. In the case of company, the responsibility of providing accounts rests with the board of directors or the governing body. In case of a partnership, the partner who is utilizing the money for the business purpose, the partner who is in charge of handling the finance, the partner would have a team of persons to help him to provide information about what happened. So therefore, in case of a company, the managing body, the board of directors. In case of a proprietorship or a partnership, one who is managing the finance, they are supposed to provide information. So who should provide? Who should do accounting? One who manages money. One who manages money is supposed to do accounting and provide information. When accounting should be done? As and when any significant event happens which results in an outflow or inflow of money, or which results in creation of an asset or a liability relating to the business. In simple words, if any event or a transaction happens, accounting should be done. But you should know whether what has happened is an event or a transaction. And you should be able to measure that event in terms of money or the transaction in terms of money. Because accounting is nothing but providing information about what happened in terms of money. The provider of money has a right to ask for information. The user has a responsibility to provide information. So therefore, one who manages money should do accounting. But when accounting should be done? Accounting is a process. It consists of various steps. When accounting should be done? As and when any significant events happen. As and when there is a flow of money or money's worth into a business or out of the business, then it ignites the requirement for preparation of accounts. So when accounting should be done? Very simple. When any event or a transaction happens, accounting should be done. How accounting should be done? How it should be done? There are various ways in which accounting can be done. But the ultimate objective is to provide information to the users of accounting information. So when you provide information to another person, it should be in a manner in which that person understands that comfortably. Accounting should be done in a manner in which the receiver of the information is able to understand what information is provided. In other words, it is similar to communication. Communication means what? You are speaking something in a certain language. Some people are listening to you. You want them to understand certain things in a certain manner. You are talking to them in a certain language. The persons who receive the information should understand in this manner in which you want them to understand. That is communication. Because I keep speaking English, people are listening to me, they understand English, number one. But I speak something in that language called English. I want you people to understand something. What is accounting? Why accounting should be done? When accounting should be done? I am trying to explain all these things. I want you people to understand that. I should make it convenient for you to understand. It should not be convenient to me. Understand carefully. It should not be convenient to me. It should be comfortable for the receiver of the information. So, in a manner in which the receiver is able to comprehend, fathom whatever I am telling them, that is the way you have to provide the information. So, in simple words, how information should be given, how accounting should be done in a manner understood by the users of the information. So, how accounting should be done? In a manner understood by the receiver of information. Because there is no point in a person keep on talking. The person who is listening is unable to understand anything. Now, what is the purpose of a person delivering a lecture? There are some people listening. If the people who are listening is unable to understand or comprehend what this person is telling, then the communication is incomplete. So, therefore, it is a duty of the person providing the information to provide that in such a manner that the receiver is able to understand in a manner in which the provider of information wants them to understand. Clear? Please be very, very clear. So, friends, in this slide, we are able to understand what is accounting, why we should do accounting, who should do accounting, when accounting should be done, and how accounting should be done. See, these are all not any standard definitions. This is the way I want you guys to understand. Very, very important. Are you able to understand? You may not see all this in any standard book on accounting. This is the way I want you people to understand what, why, who, when, and how. If this is clear, then as we go forward, it will be very, very enjoyable for us. Right? Significance. About that we will be seeing later. Significance. Why accounting is significant. Limitations. It appears as if accounting is everything. But friends, you understand, everything will have a limitation. Every aspect of life will have some disadvantages, will have merits. What we should see is which is more than the other one. If advantages are more than the demerits, we follow that. If demerits are more than the advantages, we don't follow that. It appears accounting is everything, but not like that. Even accounting has lot of limitations. All that we are going to see. Friends, so far we have been discussing about the basics of accounting, but suddenly I am using a term bookkeeping. What is bookkeeping? Whether bookkeeping is accounting or accounting and bookkeeping are different. What is the objective of bookkeeping? That also we are going to see in the forthcoming slides. Subfields of accounting, as I told you, there are different fields of accounting. Cost accounting is there, management accounting is there, financial accounting is there. So, all that we are going to learn. Like I told you, various users of accounting information. In one word, I told you, the person who provides money is the user. But it is not like that always. A person who is having a stake in the business can be regarded as a user. Even an employee is a user of accounting information. A customer, a banker, any other lender, All these people can be regarded as users of accounting information. We are going to learn about that also. Role of chartered accountant. Say I am a chartered accountant. What is my role in the society? My role is to educate the people how accounting should be done. I should guide them in a manner that it satisfies the requirement of an accountant. Is it not? These are the things we are going to see in this slide. Let's now go to the definitions given by various institutions in relation to what is accounting. Accounting is defined as the process of identifying, measuring, and communicating economic information to permit informed judgments and decisions by the users of accounts. Friends, you are supposed to not just memorize this, but to understand this. If you understand this, you need not memorize anything. Because I always believe that if you want to acquire knowledge, it is not by memorizing that. It is by learning it repeatedly again and again, trying to understand it. That is the way we can learn anything. So first you understand accounting is a process. That means it is not an event. It doesn't happen today and gets over today itself. It's a process. That means it takes long time. It is done over a period of time. So that's why we call it as a process. The process comprises of identifying, measuring, and communicating. Very beautifully the definition is given. Identify. Identify what? Economic information. That means information in terms of money. Measuring. You should measure what happened in a business in terms of money. Communicate. You have to tell the people who are interested in what is happening in a business. So identify, measure, and communicate economic information. That means information in terms of money. For what purpose you have to do all this? To permit informed judgments. Judgments not taken arbitrarily. Informed judgments. Based on the information, they come to a conclusion. They arrive at a judgment. And based on the judgment, they take decision. Who? The users of the accounts. So the person who uses the accounts are enabled to take decision based on the information communicated to them. The process of identifying, measuring, and communicating economic information to enable the users of accounts to take informed judgments and decision is known as accounting. This is one of the definitions of accounting. There are so many such definitions. For example, you see, in 1970, that means 50 years before, the Accounting Principles Board of American Institute of Certified Public Accountant, AICPA, enumerated the functions of accounting as follows. This particular association has given a definition for accounting. What is that? The function of accounting is to provide quantitative information. Quantitative information does not mean in terms of number of units or kilograms or tons or metric tons, not like that. Primarily of financial nature. So here the quantity is measured in terms of money, not other units. About economic entities, entities which are involved in using money for generation of revenue and for providing benefits. That is needed to be useful in making economic decision. Decisions to be made in terms of money, whether I can invest my money here or not, whether the money invested by me here is safe and secure. How can you take a decision about whether your money is safe and secure? Unless somebody provides you the information. So the function of accounting is to do that, is to provide you that information. Financial nature. You cannot tell, say, I have 5 buildings. Okay, that is one information. But in accounting, 5 building, what is the cost? I have 23 machinery. Okay, good. That is an information. That is a quantity. 23 is a quantity. But you have provided money to the business. You want to know what is the cost of those buildings employed in the business. How many machines? 23 machines. What is the money spent on that? 47 crores. Good. That is an information which the providers of finance need. In order to provide them that information, we use accounting as a language. So therefore, friends, thus accounting may be defined as the process of recording. So initially we said it is a process, is it not? What are these processes comprising of? Recording, classifying, summarizing, analyzing and interpreting. 5 important steps are there. Recording, classifying, summarizing, analyzing, interpreting. What? Recording what? Analyzing what? Classifying what? The financial transactions, very, very important. Financial transactions and communicating the results thereof to the persons interested in such information. So that's what I've been telling you from the beginning. There are 2 category of persons. 1 that provides money, 2 that uses money. The providers of money are interested in knowing what is happening. The users of money are utilizing it for that particular purpose. It is a duty of the user to provide information to the providers of money in a proper manner. That manner in which it is presented has a certain process. That process is called accounting. This process involves at least 5 steps: recording, classifying, summarizing, analyzing and interpreting. See, at the foundation level, we may not learn analyzing, interpreting and all, but definitely we are going to learn recording, classifying and summarizing. No doubt about that. About each of that, we will tell you a little bit later. What is recording? What is classifying? How to summarize? What is the way we analyze the things? How to interpret that? And ultimately, how to communicate all these informations. So the process of providing information by following the various steps is what is known as accounting. Are you clear, friends? Steps involved in accounting. See, the objective of accounting is what? To provide information in terms of money. In order to provide that, you have to generate that information. How to generate the financial information? I told you various steps are there. What are the various steps? First step, recording. Recording of what? Recording of transactions and events. Recording of transactions and events. Whatever happened in a business. Transaction, event. You record it. Now the question is, why we should record? How we should record? Is there any procedure involved in recording? First of all, why we should record? You know, the objective of accounting is to provide information. In order to provide information, you have to generate it, you have to create it. The first step in that is recording. Unless I record some information, I will not be able to provide that information. And another point is also very simple to understand. If you do not record, you will forget. Simple. Clear? For example, we are recording this lecture. Why? Because I want you to tell you something to understand. If this is not recorded, how will you know? How will you understand? So, if you are responsible to provide a certain information to a set of people, you have to create that information based on transactions even that has happened, and that too in a proper manner. So the first step is recording the information in terms of money, because human memory is short. How many numbers you can count beyond 10? You have only 10 fingers. Can you count more than 10? What you had for breakfast yesterday morning, do you remember that? That will not affect others. Whatever you had for breakfast yesterday morning doesn't affect anybody. But what you did with my money, I gave you 5 lakh rupees. I want you to tell me what happened to that money. Maybe had you spent the money yesterday, you will remember today. But I ask you 5 days later, 1 month later, will you be able to tell me what happened? So what we do? In order to provide that information, we record it. See, in olden days, or your parents would have a habit of writing significant events happened in a day in a diary. Why they are recording all that? So they can recollect that information. It will be very enjoyable for them when they learn it, when they read it later. See, when we were students like you, there were no cell phones, no mobile phones. We recorded all the telephone numbers in our mind. But what you people are doing, what even now, what I am doing, I don't remember any phone number. I know only 5 numbers I know. My parents, my wife, my brother, like that, my son. Just 5 numbers I remember. But I may have some 787 numbers in my mobile phone. Do I remember everything? How many numbers you remember? Maybe 5. At least you should remember your parents' number or your best friends. If you are married, wife or husband. Beyond that, nobody remembers anybody's number. When I was a student like you, I used to remember at least 50 numbers. You tell me the name of the person, I'll easily dial that number. My father used to have an even greater memory. See, for 2 plus 3 equal to 5, we are using calculator computer. But olden days, there were calculations like half into half, half plus half, 2 by 3 plus 4 by 5. They will do everything in mind. Mentally they will do. So in olden days, they recorded everything here. But if you don't record this, it's not going to happen. It's not going to affect others. It's going to affect you only. But if others are given you money, you don't record it properly. Suppose I gave you 1 lakh rupees 2 months before. I wanted to use that money for a particular purpose. After 1 month, I come and ask you, what happened to the money? Sir, I do not know what happened. Like that, if you tell me, I'll get furious. So what you do? You record it somewhere. Right? Like how you record the various numbers in your mobile phone. How you record the files in the computer. You keep record of everything, is it not? Therefore, if you are responsible to provide information to anybody, you have to create that information. The first step is recording. Because if there is no record, no decisions, no actions can be taken. For example, the government wants to provide a benefit to a certain set of people. They need to have information about how many men are there, how many women are there, how many children are there in a particular area. So they will go and collect that information. So every information that you collect should be recorded in a certain manner. Here you are collecting the information that happened in a business in terms of money, you record it. Because if you do not record, you cannot provide information. Why you have to provide information? Because you are responsible. You are duty bound to provide information. Why you are duty bound? because you are accountable. You are accountable to what? To the money provided by others. Therefore, friends, in order to achieve the final objective of providing information in terms of money, very, very critical, recording should be done. Right. Now, what is the next step in accounting? Classifying. What is classifying? Why we should classify the information? Suppose the government wants to provide a certain benefit to the people in a certain area. I give them an information. There are some 3,547 people in that area. But the government wants to know in that how many are men, how many are women, how many are girl children, boy children, how many are studying in school, how many are not studying in school, how many are studying in English medium, how many are studying in Tamil medium, and what is the age group, like that. For the purpose of taking decisions, information should be given in a classified manner. Similarly, in a business also, from 25 crores money is given. You have spent that money. You record it. Money spent 25 crores. That's all. But the person who provided the money will ask you, give me the information for what purposes you spent that money. 10 crores for this, 5 crores for this, 12 crores for this. Like that, we want information. Information is not a statistic. We give, okay, total money given 25 crores, money spent 25, no money, no balance. So, you should give the information in a manner in which we are able to see whether the money provided was utilized for the particular purpose and for what are the purposes in which the money was utilized. So, from where you got the money, on what you put the money. Because otherwise what happens is, the money given would have been spent for various purposes, you are not aware of that. For example, I gave you the beginning. 1,000 rupees your dad gives you, your parents gives you to buy a book. But the book is only 800 rupees. So dad is asking you, what about 1,000? Will you say book 1,000 rupees? You should not. Book is 800 only. But to go and purchase the book, you spend some 50 rupees for conveyance. And on the way you had tea or coffee, maybe you spend 30-40 rupees for that. Balance 100 rupees is available with you. So you have to provide information in a proper manner. Received 1,000, record. Spent 900, record. But how did you spend the 900? 800 for purchase of the book, 50 for conveyance, 50 for tea, coffee, snacks. Balance 100. This is the way you have to classify. Because money spent is for expenditure only. Can a company say, you give 100 crores, sir, I spent all the 100 crores. No problem, you spend. But for what purpose the money was spent? Have you acquired any asset? Have you installed any machinery? What is the money spent on paying salary to employees? What is the money spent on creating infrastructure? What is the money spent on rent? Like that. And you would have got money from various people, not only one person, from shareholder, from the proprietor, from the partner, from the banker, from other financial institutions. And the money would have been spent for various purposes. So can you just say, money received so much, spent so much, no balance? Nobody is going to agree that, is it not? So, provide information in a classified manner under proper heads. Expense and income, assets and liability should be given the proper heads to have a clear understanding about what happened to the money. So, classifying under proper heads. Expense income, assets, liabilities. Classify. Next, summarizing. Sir, I have recorded all the transactions, sir. I have given all classification. Should I summarize? Definitely. At the end of this unit, I am going to give a summary. Why summary is required? Shall I not just finish and say, okay, the class is over? To recollect. In one nutshell, in one slide, you want to know what all we learnt in this lesson. Because sometimes you don't have time to go through the entire slide. That is why beginning we give objective, final we give summary. So that if you see the beginning slide and the last slide, you will understand, okay, this is what I am going to learn from this unit. At the end, I'll give a brief summary of what all we learned. So you'll understand, okay, my objective was to learn this and I have achieved the objective. Summarizing. So similarly in accounting also, you keep on recording the transaction as it takes place. All the transaction you record, all the events you record in a chronological order, in the order of date, in the order in which the transaction took place, you just keep on recording it. After that, what we should do? Expense, income, asset, liability, capital, all these things should be given under proper heads for more clarity. Like that, you know what will happen? Some thousands of entries will be there and hundreds of expense and income heads will be there. Most of the time, people may not have time to go through everything. Like when you're asked to prepare a project report in your schools or colleges, what do? You prepare a project report for 200 pages, but your teacher, your lecturer will tell you, in the first page should give a summary. So when you're presenting a report, when you're presenting an information, the detailed information is given afterwards, but a summary will be given upfront. So that quickly I can go through and see, okay, this is what happened. Very good. If I want any details, I'll go into that later. But right now, I just want to have an understanding what is happening. Okay, the summary will help me to understand that. Not only that, friends, accounting has to be done based on some techniques. If you already have learnt accounting, you will know debit, credit, ledger, A bar C, B bar D, so many things will come. But you tell me, will everybody understand debit? Will anybody will understand credit? If somebody has not learnt accounting all his life, will they be able to understand? See, for example, if I write like this, how will you read this? Building A bar C, DR dot. I want you to read this. I do not know accounting at all. See, let me read it carefully. You see how I am reading it. Building, air condition, doctor. Correct or not? So, a person who doesn't know accounting will read it like this. Building, air condition, doctor. What do you understand from this? Maybe you can come to a conclusion a doctor is having a clinic in an air conditioned building. That's all. But you ask the same question to a person who already know accounting. You know how he will read it? Building account debtor. So understand, friends, accounting, not only accounting, every subject has its own technical jargons. People who are aware of that only will be able to understand that. Because I know accounting, people who are listening to me may know accounting, some of you may not know accounting. Then how they will understand? Because I was not an accounting student in the beginning. I was a BSc mathematics student. After mathematics, I came to accounting. The first thing I saw is this only in the book. Then I understood accounting is so simple. You should write whatever you know. Building, air condition, doctor. That's all accounting. Later, some of my friends told me DR means debtor. But DR is normally what? Doctor. A bar C is what? Air condition. That's all. But they said it is account. Building is building, no doubt. Are you able to understand what I'm trying to tell you? So there are so many technical jargons involved in accounting. But who are the users of the accounting information? Anybody would have invested in a business. The person who has invested in a business need not be a person having knowledge in accounting. A software professional would have invested in a business. A management consultant has invested in a business. Are you able to understand? So the persons who have invested money in a business, who provide information, who want information, may not have the expertise to understand it. So it is your duty to provide them that information in a manner in which they understand. So classifying, recording, all are very, very technical. So therefore, friends, from the information that you have already created, you should provide the information in a manner that anybody and everybody who is in need of that information is able to understand that. That process is called summarizing. Are you able to understand that? So friends, I hope you understood what is summarizing. Giving the complete information in a manner easy to understand by the others. Simple, that's all. And preferably in one sheet of paper. That will provide information to the people who are interested in a manner in which they want. It will be devoid of any technical jargons also. Okay. Now the next one is analyzing. Of course, at the foundation level, this may not be very important for you, but analyzing is also one of the steps involved in generating financial information. How analyzing will be done, why it should be done, who will do that, what is the benefit of that, that and all we will learn at the next level. Probably at the inter level, final level you will learn. But since this is a part of the process of accounting, we are showing it here. Analyze. See, don't you analyze previous question papers? For what you are doing that analysis? You want to know what is the expected question in the coming examination. So you take the previous question papers and see under which chapter, how many marks you are getting, whether this chapter comes repeatedly or not, so that you can take a proper strategical decision to, arrive at a conclusion. So similarly, analyzing of what happened in a business is based on the summarized data. Summarizing involves, number one, preparation of a trial balance. And based on the trial balance, you have to prepare the final accounts of an organization, namely trading, profit and loss account and balance sheet. After the financial statements are prepared, then only analyzing will start. Just a simple example I'll give you. Analyze. Analyzing involves comparing two variables. You know, there is something called ratio analysis. How many employees are there? What is the salary paid? That is one analysis. What is the profit made on the total sales made by a company? That is another analysis. So what we do? We divide the profit by sales. We get the percentage of profit made on sale. Suppose they say 25%. What is the meaning of that? If goods are sold for 100 rupees, you make a profit of 25 rupees. That is one analysis. Why we need to do that? So therefore, if I sell goods for 1 crore, I will get a profit of 25 lakhs. It will give me some idea. and whether I am selling it at a proper percentage of profit or not, I can compare this percentage with others. A similar company in the same industry, what is their profit proportion? Is it 25%? Is it 33%? Is it only 15%? Comparison. So, analysis has to be done for the purpose of arriving at some conclusion so that in future we can change the path. We can do better, or if there is something not happening according to your expectation, we can rectify that. So, therefore, based on the financial statements of an entity, we have to analyze two comparable variables to arrive at a certain conclusion to take informed decisions. So, accounting includes analyzing also. Next, interpreting. Analyzing is what you understood. Okay, if I sell goods for 100, I get a profit of 25. 25% is my profit. Okay, that is an analysis. If there are so many employees, I pay this much of salary. Therefore, per employee, my salary is so much. That is an analysis. Interpretation. So, what is the result of my analysis? I interpret it in this manner. So, in this company, if I sell the goods for 100, I'll make a profit of 25 rupees. In this company, my salary per employee is 43,500. I interpret it. I try to understand the results of my analysis. And this is what is the parameters in this company. In this organization, these are the parameters. These are the financial parameters. I interpret it in a manner which is useful for the users of the financial statements. Is it not? So, therefore, first you record, then you classify, later you summarize, prepare the financial statements. Based on the financial statements, you analyze it, compare variables. Comparison includes comparing your performance of this year with last year. That is also there. What happened last year? What happened this year? Last year my turnover was this much. This year my turnover is this much only. There's a reduction in turnover. What happened? Why there is a reduction? Is because of lockdown. The last 1 year, everything got affected. So the turnover would have been reduced because of this. Is it really a genuine reason? What is the reason for that? Or nothing happened like that. There is still a sudden fall in my turnover. What is the reason? So, analysis will tell you what is happening in the business. And the analysis results will help you to interpret. This is what I understand from the analysis made by me. Then, finally, communicating. So, from the beginning, friends, I have been telling you, the very objective of accounting is to provide information to the users of the financial information. So, ultimately, the purpose of recording, classifying, summarizing, analyzing, interpreting, for what we are doing all that? To communicate that information to the users of the financial statement. Communication. Communicating what? About the performance of a business for a particular period. Evaluation of the financial status of a company as on a particular date. Whether a company has made a profit or loss during the particular period. Whether a company is solvent in the short term or long term, whether the company's current assets are more than current liabilities, whether their assets are sufficient to cover the long term liabilities, whether they are solvent or insolvent, solvent in the long term, solvent in the short term. All these evaluation can be done based on the financial statements, and this has to be properly, transparently, clearly, comprehensively communicated to the users of the financial information. So, the ultimate objective of accounting is communicating. Communicating means what? Providing information. About what? About whatever that happened in the business in terms of money. This is what is the process we have to follow in order to generate the financial information. Since the ultimate objective of accounting is communicating, we call accounting as the language of business. Accounting is language of business. See, we use a language to communicate whatever our thoughts and actions. We want others to know, we want others to understand that. Similarly, whatever happened in a business, we want to tell the people who are interested in that information. So, we use accounting as a language to communicate the happenings, the performance, the status of a business. So, we call accounting as a language of business. Why? The objective of accounting is to communicate. Communication is done through a language. Accounting is a process involved in helping in arriving at this final solution. So, therefore, we say accounting is language of business. So, friends, please remember how to create the financial information. Record it first. What you should record? Transactions, events. Then you classify under proper heads. These are these expenses, income, salary, rent and so on, sales, commission, like that, liability, capital, machinery, vehicle, debtors, creditors, like that you classify, then you summarize. In a nutshell, in a sheet, one sheet of paper, the complete information without any technical jargons are provided. So anybody who wants to get any information briefly can just look into that. Detailed information they can get into the books of accounts and find out, then analyzing, interpreting, communicating. See, up to summarizing, we will be learning at the foundation level. Beyond that, analyzing, interpreting, communicating, all that we will be learning at the next level, intermediate level and final level and so on. But since it is also a process, part of the process involved in accounting, we are just trying to discuss it briefly in the classroom. How is the financial information used? How do you use it? First, you prepare the trading P&L account, balance sheet. From that, you derive some information. Then you take decisions based on the information provided from the accounting. How it is used? Depending upon the purpose for which it is seen. For example, an employee may use a financial information to understand whether the company is a good company, whether I can continue in this company or not, will they pay me salary correctly, will they give me any bonus, whether the company is making profit or not, am I entitled for any gratuity, what is the benefit I will be getting. Like that, an employee may be interested in the financial information. So depending upon their purpose, the information will be used by various persons according to their requirements, according to their needs. Okay, that is how the financial information will be used. Friends, this brings us to the end of this first lesson, first chapter on meaning and scope of accounting.